I want to talk to you today about not giving away your power. Every day we have opportunities to get upset, to be frustrated, to go around offended. Maybe our plans didn't work out, or somebody was rude to us at the office, or what should have taken an hour ended up taking 3 hours. Life is full of inconveniences. There will always be interruptions and people that are hard to get along with. And we can't control all of our circumstances, but we can control our reaction. Now, I heard somebody say, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond. And we should go out each day positive, hopeful, expecting God's favor. But at the same time, we should be realistic, knowing that most days are not going to go exactly as we had it planned. And if you get stressed because you got off schedule, or upset because your child wouldn't eat his breakfast, frustrated because somebody offended you, what you're doing is giving away your power. We were created to be in peace. And when you have this calmness on the inside, a joy in your spirit, a smile on your face, that's a position of power. That's when you're at your very best. But too many people these days have the wrong approach to life. They think they can't be happy unless they control all their circumstances, make sure everything goes their way. But that's not realistic. We have to come to the place where we can say, I don't have to have my way in order to have a good day. My plans don't have to work out for me to be happy. Everybody doesn't have to treat me right for me to enjoy my life. I have already made up my mind. No matter what does or doesn't happen, I'm going to stay in peace and enjoy this day. And it helped me when I realized that no person can take my joy. No circumstance can take our peace. No interruption can take our enthusiasm. We have to give it away. And the next time you're tempted to get upset, frustrated, ask yourself, is this worth giving my power away? This man that's rude to me on the phone that I don't even know, is it worth giving him my joy? Or this coworker that left me out of a meeting, is it worth giving away my peace? And some of you today, you don't have the victory that you should. Not because you can't, but because you keep giving it away. Life is too short to live upset and offended. If you allow your circumstances to control your joy, then there's always going to be some reason to be discouraged. Well, Joel, it's the economy. It's the stock market. That's why I'm so down. No, quit giving away your power. God is still on the throne. The economy in heaven is doing just fine. As long as you're connected to Him, everything's going to be all right. Well, I had to cancel my vacation this year. Or my boss is sure hard to get along with. Or this neighbor, he really gets on my nerves. I've been praying, asking God to change him. But one thing I've learned is never pray for God to change somebody else without first saying, God, change me. Even if that neighbor were to move away, if you don't learn this principle, to not allow other people to steal your joy, 2 more people just like him will move back in. We have to change. Jesus put it this way, John 14:27. Stop allowing yourself to be upset and disturbed. Notice it's a choice that we have to make. He didn't say, I'm going to make sure your circumstances are perfect. That way you can be happy. He said, in effect, the things that are upsetting you right now, they don't have to. The people that are aggravating you, even if they don't change, they don't have to. If you'll make adjustments and change your approach to life, you can be happy in spite of those circumstances. Now, I'm asking you today to stop allowing people and traffic and disappointments and inconveniences to steal your joy. You have to put your foot down and say, this child that gets on my nerves, I love him, but I'm going to rise above it. I'm not going to let this control me. Or this grumpy boss that jumps down my throat for no reason, I'm not letting him ruin any more of my days. That's what it means to not give away your power. You've got to be determined that you're going to enjoy your life. I heard this lady tell how one of her husband's relatives was very opinionated. He was always making these cutting, demeaning remarks toward her. And this couple hadn't been married that long, and every time they were at family get-togethers, invariably he would say something that offended her. She would get all upset, and it ruined the whole trip. She got to where she didn't want to even go on these family events. Finally, she told her husband, "You got to do something about that man. He's your relative." She was expecting the husband to say, "You're right, honey. He shouldn't talk to you like that. I'm going to go in there and set him straight." But the husband did just the opposite. He said, "Honey, I love you, but I cannot control him. He has every right to have his opinion. He can say what he wants to, but you have every right to not get offended." At first, she couldn't understand why her husband wouldn't really stick up for her. Time and time again, she would get upset. And if he was in one room, she would go to another room. If that man was outside, she would make sure she stayed inside. Her whole focus was centered on avoiding this man. One day, it was like a light turned on. She realized she was giving away her power. She was allowing one person that had issues of his own to keep her from becoming who she was meant to be. When you allow what someone says or does to upset you, you're allowing them to control you. When you say, "You make me so mad," what you're really doing is admitting that you're giving away your power. As long as that person knows they can push this button and you'll respond this way, and they can make this remark and you'll get upset, and they know if they go outside, you'll go inside, as long as you keep responding the same way, you are giving them exactly what they want. People have a right to say what they want, to do what they want, as long as it's legal, but we have a right to not get offended. We have a right to overlook it. But when we get upset and go around angry, we change, somebody walks in a room, we get all tense. What's happening is we're putting too much importance on what they think about us. What they say about you does not define who you are. Their opinion of you does not determine your self-worth. Let that bounce off of you like water off of a duck's back. They have every right to have their opinion, and you have every right to ignore it. And I found that some people, they feel like it's their calling in life to point out what we're doing wrong and where we're missing it. They're constantly critical, always finding fault. There's nothing they'd love any more than to keep you upset and arguing and always trying to prove why you're okay. You have got to rise above that. You don't need them to agree with you. You don't have to have their approval. Let that go and just be who God made you to be.